Hi, this is my footage of my recent trip to Australia, starting off in Dubai for a day and having a week in Malaysia on the way back. So this is me coming up just to give you, and that is the real Burj Khalifa. It looks like a model, but it's not, it's the real thing. And the actual film will have really good shots of the views from the top there, excellent views. So I'm using my new camcorder. So this is the first time I've taken it out and I took quite a lot of footage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it into smaller, little more watchable chunks. So here we are in sunny Melbourne, a big contrast from the snowy England I left. And I remember arriving on the first day, it was 6:30 in the morning, so I tried to stay up the whole day. And we had a really exciting day because we went and watched the Grand Prix practice on the Friday before the main race on the Sunday. So the first couple of days were spent in Melbourne with my brother, and I spent a couple of nights with my cousin Maxine and her daughter and son, Natasha and Clint. So basically, it was time catching up. It's my fourth time to the city, so I've seen most of the sites already, but I had time to go and see St Kilda here. So after about 5 days, Duncan and I were going to do the drive between Melbourne and Adelaide, and we were going to do the Great Ocean Road route, and take the coastal road up. So I've got lots of footage of this, and this is all part of that bit of that footage. So it's an absolutely beautiful drive. We had a great particularly the first day when you're on the Great Ocean Road drive. It was really nice. And there's some koalas here. I think they're a bit fake because they were too conveniently placed, but I'll come back to that. And then we went on to the 12 Apostles, of course. So I've got some very good footage of that. And this is me coming up at the 12 Apostles. It was actually packed out because I think by the time we got there about 3:30, all the tour buses were there, so it was quite busy. So I've been a bit cunning here the way I filmed it. And I think this was a bit further along, and we stopped off. It's very beautiful. Oh, this is me and my shoulder. I dislocated my shoulder in Melbourne, so I'll tell that story another time. And this is Port Fairy. This is a bit further on. This is beyond the Great Ocean Drive. So this was the second day, and had a little walk in the morning before we had a long drive. And the weather wasn't quite as good the second day, but yeah, you can see this road here. This is a typical road. It just goes on and on and on. And this is Mount Gambier. So I've got a bit of footage of that. Put that in. And this was a highlight. We were driving on. Dunk had a four-wheel drive car, so we were driving on the beach at Robe. So I've got quite a lot of footage of that. It was really good fun. So this is the first time I've been on the beach, and we went on for about half an hour. And we were driving up and down for a bit, but we were a bit worried about the tide, but it was excellent. And just here on the beach where you see the car is, this is where I lost my iPhone, so I'll tell you the story of how I found it. And this is just some footage on just south on the way back to Adelaide, just south of Adelaide, because we just had to go to Moana, and I was staying there with my aunt, Aunt Shirley, who's coming up in a moment, and my two cousins, Kim and Sherwin, who both have their own families. So my cousin Kim here, and her mother-in-law Brenda. This is a day trip to Victor Harbour, and there's my aunt there. And we had this climb up. So I got some quite good footage at Victor Harbour. We enjoyed this walk. So I had 6 days in Adelaide, and then my brother had flown back, and I was going to drive back on my own. Oh, and this is Grampians. I finally got to see some kangaroos close up, so I've got quite a lot of kangaroo footage. So I'll do a kangaroo film. And this is all Hall's Gap and the viewpoints. I had a day in the Grampians, absolutely stunning, and beautiful views. And coming up, this is Mackenzie Falls. That's the top bit of it, and I've got some quite. I met a kangaroo face on, so I've got film of that, so I'll put that on. Anyway, I headed back to Melbourne, and had a few final days. And this is Hanging Rock, and this is Bruce Springsteen live. So we finished. This is my last night in Melbourne. We went to see Bruce, and you can't end the holiday on a better note than that. And there's Jimmy, my brother's partner, and there's Bruce here. We're pretty close. We're really good. I can't play it because of the copyright, of course, but it was a great night. So we got home at 1:30 in the morning on Bruce Springsteen night, and then the next morning, the following morning, I was up at 3:30 to get the flight to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. So I got some footage of Malaysia, so I'll do a separate film for that. Particularly, I took quite a lot in Kuala Lumpur, so I got some quite good views. It was a bit hazy, and I love monorails. If you see my Sydney monorail film, you know I like including films of monorails. So finally, on my last night in Kuala Lumpur, I went up the Petronas Towers, and we got struck by lightning. So this final scene, you can see the building getting struck by lightning.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are calling for the first group, red pass. This way, please. The